Welcome everyone, welcome to a new market update. We're going to discuss Bitcoin and Ethereum today. As we can see that we've got some very nice volatility. What are the levels to watch? What levels should you be looking out for a potential trade? That is what we're going to discuss, and we're including a few altcoins which are interesting to look at. But before that, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also do not forget to like this YouTube update and check out our platform, which is in the description beneath, and there you can start trading alongside me and our team members. We are providing daily content with trade IDs, with my personal strategy, educational material, fundamental reports, market updates. Everything is included. Check out the website beneath. So what do we see with the markets right now if you go to the charts? Well, we've discussed it in the last update yesterday evening, in which we said the critical level Bitcoin has to hold on to is this level around 45k. It's the previous high, so in order to have continuation to the upside, you want to sustain every previous resistance as support. So in this case, if you want to continue this upwards momentum, the previous resistance has to flip for support to continue doing so. If that doesn't happen, there's still a few levels that we should be watching. As the first level is the area around 43.7. The second one is the previous high at 42.2. Those two are also still levels that you should be looking out for. Especially when we look at the structure on the left, we can see that we held the previous high, dropped south, retested this previous level, and then we continued breaking out upwards even more. So if Bitcoin can't hold 45k, you want to see it hold 43.7, and then the question becomes whether we reject 45k or whether we're going to break through it. And if we do hold 45k or break back above, this is the real resistance that we're looking at. It's a higher time frame area that we have been bouncing on significantly during the period of the ultra bull, and it was the final breaker before the price started to cascade south, through which it doesn't seem likely to be breaking through this resistance in one go, given the fact that we just basically went vertical towards that resistance zone, through which the chances of a corrective move coming up relatively soon are increasing, given the fact that we have limited upwards potential given the high resistance levels there, and we've got some significant downwards potential in which we can liquidate many longs with all those stop triggers that we could be doing, similar to the entire structure that we had previously with those shorts that get triggered in this entire run upwards. All those shorts got liquidated or stopped out. So the level to watch for Bitcoin is 45k. The level to watch on the upside is the range between 47 to 49. If 45k doesn't hold, I think we're going to have a further corrective move, and we're going to look for lower highs, lower lows structure. At this moment, we're still fine in this structure, as long as we stay above 45k. If you look at Ethereum against USDT, we can see that all those critical levels are also still holding. We discussed yesterday that the green zone is the level that we were watching, right? And we had to break through 3k in order to have further upwards momentum. At this case, we're doing that, and we are facing another big time frame resistance. So not only Bitcoin is facing a higher time frame resistance, but also Ethereum is watching a higher time frame resistance, as this entire block used to be a resistance before we started to break, or used to be the breaker before we started to fall south, as this was the support previously. So when we look back, we can see support is here, also support here, rejection at 35.5, downwards momentum. So this entire range that we're currently acting in doesn't seem likely that we're going to break through it in one go, as it's the first test since the break to the downside. Could be happening, of course, but I'm not expecting it. Through which the scenario that I have here, in which we dip into the resistance zone, make a fake out above the high, break back south and start consolidating, is still a likely scenario that I have, especially given the fact that we've just been running up in such a heavy manner. What are the levels to watch on the downside? Well, of course, we are looking at 28.55 as a potential support, and we're looking at the entire block here that we have, which is a very high time frame support level too. Are we going to see that correction? I hope we do. When we're looking at altcoins, we can see that some of them are doing massive work, right? So we've discussed Orion yesterday, and right now I want to discuss Elrond, given the fact that Elrond is just basically running upwards in a vertical manner too. But as we discussed critical levels of resistance for Ethereum and Bitcoin, it seems to be likely that we're also facing such a resistance zone for coins like Elrond. However, as you can see in the previous structure, it just cracks through it. But if you want to look at take profit levels, this is the area you want to take profit from, and the areas you want to start entering once again are these zones. So this level is the first one, as we just cracked it, very similar to Ethereum at 28.55. The second area that you should be looking at is this zone. So EGLD broke the structure, made a higher low, broke the structure through breaking through this resistance, runs towards the next level, and you can see that many of those USDT pairs are currently facing resistance. In that perspective, if this one breaks up and flips this level, that is an entry point. At this stage, you're looking at take profit if you're trading, adjusting your stop loss, and you're looking at entries anywhere in those regions to start taking that trade. So I'm not saying we're not going to break to the upside, but if we do, the entry point is based on flipping this level rather than taking the entry when we approach a resistance point for the first time. And we've been doing that here too, and you can see how volatile it got rejected. So this is what I'm looking at with EGLD at this stage, while for instance Swipe is also breaking to the upside and still has some momentum to go. So if we look at Swipe at this stage, we see that we cracked the resistance here, we cracked those levels. I'll just make it a clean chart. We cracked the level here, that is step one, right? So the second level that we crack is this zone. Right now, what we can see is that based on this breakout, the upper perspectives for Swipe are towards this breaker here, while EGLD is already facing this breaker. So EGLD is not giving you any entry at all. Swipe can still give you an entry based on the fact that this level holds. And we've discussed Swipe as one of the most interesting altcoins for the coming month, but especially if this level holds, we can see continuation to the other side of the range, and then I'm going to take profit once again. You can see how volatile this one is reacting to, especially if you're looking at a structure like this, where we broke out as well. It seems very likely that we're going to test lower levels. If that level doesn't hold, then I'm going to look at anything in this range in which we are looking at a potential support test around $2. It used to be a very heavy level too. So that's the second level that I'm looking at. But if you want to take an entry, this is the one that you should be looking at. While, as we discussed, EGLD is actually facing resistance and already running up significantly, through which you should be getting cautious and not be trading the FOMO. So that's my update for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe and be happy.